Alright, we are making tape art today, and here's how you do it. First, you gotta come up with a plan. So figure out what kind of color scheme do you want. I'm using warm colors for mine, but you can use whatever kind of color scheme you want. So you can use whatever colors excite you. Then you're going to think of your shapes or images that you want to create. Since we're using tape, I was thinking straight lines would work best for mine, so I'm going with geometric shapes. And I want to make rectangles on half of it and some triangles on the other ones. And I also wrote down ombre because that's how I want to color it. Ombre is when you move from one color to another, or from light to dark. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Then think about the materials you might need. So I'm definitely going to use paper, and I'm going to use pastels to color it in. And I forgot to write this down, but I should add tape because we're making tape art. Then you can think of some ideas for how you want to name your artwork. I'm thinking I might name mine Fire Sign since I'm using warm colors. So to start your tape art, once you've finished your plan, you're going to grab a piece of paper, either black or white, whatever you think will contrast with your color scheme. I've already taped mine off, and it looks pretty much just like my plan. When you're using this masking tape, make sure that you peel very carefully from one end, because sometimes what happens is it will rip in half. So just make sure that it is solid on both ends. If it does rip in half like this, all you gotta do is peel it back up, rip it off, and try again. So the first thing you're going to do is tape the border. This will also keep your paper flat, so make sure that when you tape the border, the tape goes off the corners and tapes it down to your table. Then you can start taping the inside design. Once you're finished taping your design, grab some oil pastels and you can start to color. Oil pastels have these paper sleeves, and if it's starting to get short, you can take your fingernail or anything sharp and just kind of start peeling it back down. You can also push from the bottom and slide it through the label to be a little bit taller. These are a little bit messy, so they might get on your hands. If you need to wash your hands during this point, you can get up and wash your hands and then come back to your artwork. So I'm going to color mine using my color scheme. So I'm going to go in and find these colors. I've got red, orange, and yellow. For oil pastels, you can try pushing down at different types of ways. So right now I'm coloring red, and I'm pushing down pretty hard to get a really nice dark color. Then I'm going to switch to my orange, and I'm going to start to overlap and blend them together, making these back and forth lines. Then I'm going to start adding my yellow, blending that in. And you can also use your finger to blend together these oil pastels. So as I blend them, it goes from red to orange to yellow. And now I'm going to make it go back in reverse. So yellow to orange to red. And I'm going to keep filling in all of these different spaces that I've created until it's completely finished. When I'm completely finished with it, then you're going to use your fingernail again to start lifting up the tape and carefully peel each piece off, and it will reveal all these cool sharp edges that made the shapes in your design. If you have questions, always you can raise your hand for me and I'll come over to you. And make sure to rewatch this video if you missed any steps.